Hello, everybody. In this episode, we have another young Indian with us, part of the Voice of the Young series. Right now, we have with us Anu Rajesh. Let's listen to her. Over to you, Anu.
Thank you so much, Subodh sir, for giving me this platform to speak. So I have to tell you about one thing. Like I'm aiming for this to give inspiration for people who thinks, oh, this will be for difficult for me to raise my voice. If I can do it, then everyone can do it. So what I am trying to do through the session is I'm gonna speak about a little about my journey, then a theorem that I'm formulating, a small gist about it. Yeah, that's what I'm planning to do for this session. So I'll start.
Good.
So before that, I introduce my name is Anu Rajesh. So, so I'll start about my journey, like a little bit about my childhood, then how I came to this theorem and everything. So, my journey begins in childhood, where my family's unwavering support shaped my values. From young age, I knew only one thing, that what I want to do, that was helping people. At that time, the obvious paths were either becoming a doctor or IAS officer, because other paths were, I don't know, I was so confused. Like, I didn't know about there are so many opportunities like that we know. Like today, at that time, we didn't have access to all this information. So there was just two obvious choices, either becoming a doctor or be a IAS officer, so that I can be a helpful to society. So this aspiration drove me to choose science for my 11th and 12th grade. But during my 11th standard, I was reading a newspaper that changed everything. Like, it was an article about Attapadi, a tribal region in Kerala, my home state. That's where I born and brought up. So the article detailed the stark disparities between my life and theirs. So leaving me questioning, why does such inequality exist? So seeking answers, I turned to economics, pursuing bachelor's and later master degree in the subject. Like everyone was expecting me to take either engineering degree or go to a doctor's path. But to everyone's surprise, I took economics. It's because I need to find an answers to it. Why there's such inequality exists? Why there is no inclusivity? So as I delved deeper, I realized that my ultimate goal is to create an inclusive society where everyone can thrive, regardless of their circumstances. So this became even more personal because my sister, who I call Aishu, she's a part of autistic community. Her journey inspired me to think about the solution that embrace inclusivity. That's how I started formulating my theory, which I named the alignment and clarity theorem, which is in its early stage. I will share some a gist about the theory as because I'm planning to I just started formulating the theory, so I'll just share a gist. So the theorem addresses the barriers such as loss aversion, false identities, and biological conditioning that prevent individuals and societies from achieving optimal decision making and long term well being.
Mhm.
It emphasizes the transcending societal, psychological, and biological constraints to foster clarity, critical thinking, and alignment between values and actions. To understand more about, I will share a diagram so it will be easy.
Okay.
Can I share it?
Let me put you on pause
Okay,
when you are ready for the diagram so that I can share the screen and you can show it. Okay, let's
sure,
continue.
sure.
Okay, continue, please. So, are you
Okay,
ready?
yeah.
Okay, so let me put you on pause. Okay, Anu is ready with her diagram. Anu, please tell us.
So as I mentioned about my theorem, so I have formulated into a picture as in a diagram to understand it easily. So here on the On the gray block, here say we should first overcome the constraints such as loss aversion, biological conditioning. Like there are so many conditioning we have, like this false identities, like oh we are such like that, I can't be like that or something. So first we should overcome that constraints. Then then we cultivate the thinking, that is critical thinking, that's as shown in the blue blocks. Then after that, when we cultivate the critical thinking, then we can align the actions with our values. So then we can achieve the harmony. So this I propose this as a solution to bridge the gap between the public policy and people. So it's in its early stage. So yeah, this is the diagram that I have to show. I will
Okay.
stop sharing now.
All right, good. Stop sharing, please. Okay, wonderful. Continue. Please
Okay.
continue.
Okay. Now, there are like so many key concepts that I reached into this theorem. So I will just share a main three key concept regarding it with an example. So first key concept is perspective driven decision making. This concept focus on shifting from fear of loss to recognizing long-term opportunities. For example, imagine a renewable energy initiative where households are hesitant to install solar panels because of high upfront cost. By reframing the narrative to highlight long-term savings and environmental benefits and providing subsidies or financing options, we encourage people to participate.
Mm.
This shift in perspective aligns their immediate actions with long-term gains.
Mm.
Now, the second key concept is atomic alignment analogy.
Mm.
So I link the decision making to the stability of atoms. When individuals' actions aligns with core values, the result is coherence and sustainability. It's like, in atomic element theory, for example, if we take H2O, like hydrogen and oxygen are two different atoms, but they form a beautiful bond, that is water. They have different properties, but if we align their properties, that's how we form the bond. So it's same applies to humans as well.
Mm.
We have different characteristics and everyone, but if we align our values, that's how we form a bond. So that's why I like to use the atomic alignment as an analogy. Now, the third main key concept is skepticism as framework for thinking. So this concept emphasizes questioning assumptions to achieve clarity. To take financial literacy campaigns, for example, if people are taught to critically evaluate loan offers, insurance plan, or investment schemes, they are empowered to avoid exploitative practices. So skepticism doesn't mean rejecting everything. It's about making better informed decision that leads to long-term security. Like skepticism, if I explain, like in newspaper, we will see the petroleum prices are dropped. We'll think, good, the government is doing good. But we are not thinking about like why the petroleum prices are dropped, on what cost. We should think like that. We should question everything.
Mm.
Not to an extent that we reject everything, but we should know why it is happening. Like, so that's how I bring this skepticism as a key concept to my theorem. Now, so ultimately, my theorem aims to bridge the gap between individual empowerment and societal progress. I believe that fostering clarity, critical thinking, and alignment between values and actions can create ripple effect of positive change. I am now planning to pursue PhD to develop this framework further and validate through research. So that's my aim. So my hope is that this work will contribute to building a society
Mm.
where everyone, including individuals like my sister, has the opportunity to thrive.
Okay.
So As I continue to refine my theory, I draw deep inspiration from the values instilled in me by my family. My father, who I call Acha, his dedication of unwavering support on whatever I do, and my mother's unwavering empathy and resilience in the face of challenges. I call her Amma. And my sister, who I call Aishu, her journey as a part of autistic community all deeply influenced my drive to create a fair and inclusive society. And my grandmother's wisdom has taught me the importance of kindness and understanding in all aspects of life.
Mm.
Finally, I dedicate my journey and my work to my late grandfather, who I call Achacha, whose kindness, artistic soul, and service as a police officer continues to guide me. His legacy inspires me to use my skills and knowledge to make a meaningful impact, just as he did throughout his life. So, yeah, this is all I have to share.
Wonderful. I mean, it's an inspiring script. You've told us a very, very innovative way of thinking and very inspiring way of talking, that you know what you want to do and it's not for yourself alone. So I'm very happy that you are here and you have just validated my rationale for starting this channel. It takes quite a bit of my time. So why am I doing it? Okay. I'm doing it
Yeah,
because it empowers people like you. It gives you a chance to talk. It gives you don't come underprepared. You prepare and you come. Gives you a chance to consolidate your thoughts and come and talk about it. So it's not my role to comment on what anybody says, because the channel is not a discussion channel. It's a channel to present the views. Others can view them and listen to them, and they can make up their own minds. Okay, so I'm not going to comment on it, except to say that I'm very happy that you are doing it. I'm not going
thank
to
you so
comment
much.
on the details, but indeed, and let's hear a little bit about your own personal side too. So far, it's been family, which is very good, professional, which is very good. Something about your personal side too, whatever you choose to share, so that people know who you are.
So if I share, I'm a simple person. It's like I like to spend time with my friends. Like I have so many friends, like a close group. Like I miss them so much. Like I have so many groups, which is so close to my heart. And also, I'm a person who likes to dance. I've been classically trained for like 10 years, but I took a gap because of my studies. Then, so I'm actually a little bit a boring person. I just, and I also like to teach people as well.
Hmm.
Like it's not past I used to hate teaching. Like always my friends used to tell me you have a knack of teaching. So then I understood. Then like last month I had an opportunity to teach two kids uh, for a 1 week because my friend is going for his work trip, so I'm just taking his place. So his parents said like one of the kid has a learning disability. So I took that in my mind, and those two kids came to me. So I gave a special attention to the kid that the parents said that have like a learning disability. Then I started asking questions like, what you want to become, very unusual questions. Then he said he has a clear aim, like what he has to become. He wants to become a gaming developer. I was like, at that age, I only know, like, I just took that option. But today's kid, they know what to do with their life. And I was thinking, why? The parents said he has a learning disability. Then after some time, I understood because I started giving some problems. He's like very brilliant. Like he'll came to the answers, but the thing is, he don't have patience to write the each steps and everything, like our syllabus demands. So I understood he may have ADHD. Like in our society, it's like very misdiagnosed as a learning disability, and also we don't have that much resource to treat it, so we just take those kids apart and say they have learning disability, but this kid has lots more of opportunities, to contribute towards our society. But I think we are wasting so many human potential because of that. So I was thinking like I should do something regarding it,
mm,
like to create more awareness regarding like ADHD in kids,
mm,
especially in our Indian society,
mm,
because they just think they have learning disability because they are not earning marks like we are supposed to do, like we should
mm,
get 99 out of
mm,
100,
mm.
because our kids, like every kids are different, like it's like a simple story we say about elephant and monkey. If we put them in a water swimming race, so sorry, fish and monkey, fish will obviously win the race. That's how our education system is. Like we should change. Like there should be a change. Then only we can start seeing a like change in our
Mm,
country as well.
mm. I think you're absolutely right. In my time, it was even more rigid. And you are giving this example. My immediate older brother, he was a bit like that. He could never waste his time getting the right spelling or making it neat and tidy. And those days, all these things were so highly prized. It didn't matter whether your answer was right or wrong. You had to write in very neat handwriting. It had to be tidy. It has to look nice. And he could never be able to do it. If it was a long word, he'd skip the middle three letters and write the first and the last. Finished. But obviously, he couldn't get very good marks. But my parents just ignored the marks. Said, no, it's okay, fine. So anyway, he's done well in life later on. And so I understand that, each child needs, the fish can't work in air and land, and monkey can't work in water. So you're right. You have to give
Yeah.
them the environment in which they can work. Okay.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to tell us?
And it's just, I just have to say about kids like, who faced bullying. Like even I faced bullying from teachers because I used to be a different kid.
Mm,
So like when like I was very different. I was a kid like who always asked questions. So so one teacher didn't like that, and it was, now I take it as a like a it's okay for me. Like
yeah.
she threw a, like asked her a question regarding from a textbook, and she threw the textbook to my face. So it was like very traumatic. So that made me like very silent. That made me very introvert and everything. And it took time to come forward and to be in front of you to be speaking like that. So I want to tell to everyone like like take your chance. It's okay. Like whatever people say, they're gonna say anyway. Like
Mm,
do mistakes.
mm,
Don't afraid to do mistakes. That's how we
mm,
learn. Yeah,
mm.
that's all I have to share.
Well, okay. Any tips you have for young people? You're already giving some, but let's see if you have any tips for people in 11th, 12th, something like that, because that's a formative decision time. So what tips do you have for them?
So what I will just ask questions like don't be afraid. Like if you have any doubts, like it's a like very important years where we have, that's where we decide where to go or such as that. So don't feel like you are being rushed. Don't feel like you have to take this pathway just because your parents told so.
Mm,
Do it just because if you want it. And if you don't know what to do, that's still okay. Like we have time, like we have to come out of that societal conditioning,
mm,
like we have to get the
mm,
degree within this year, or if you want to take a gap year, that's also okay.
mm,
Like that's how we explore, study,
mm,
ask questions,
mm,
like make connections with people,
mm, mm,
like so we can collect everything, like as we collect fruits from tree. It's all knowledge.
mm,
So from there decide what we want.
mm,
So that's what I want to tell to the young students, like don't be afraid. Like
mm,
if you don't know what to do, that's still okay.
mm,
You will know. Even
mm,
I also didn't know what I want to do
mm,
till now.
mm,
It took time. that's okay. Like, by asking, by making experience, also make so many connections with people.
Mm.
Don't be,
Mm.
include, don't be, yeah, that's what I had to say.
Okay, wonderful. Uh, I don't ask questions because this is a platform for you to speak. So if you have anything else you want to tell us, this is a good time to do it.
So I have shared about my theorem, right? So I want the people to ask questions about the theorem. Like, if any viewers seeing this, you can directly, message me. You can ask me. My DM is always open, like, in LinkedIn. It will be listed in the description, maybe,
Yes,
I think.
yes. It
So
will,
you can come to me. You can ask any doubts. Like,
yeah.
I'll be happy to share, like,
Mm,
what I can do. Like, yeah.
mm. Okay. All right, good. Thank you, Anu. Then I think we can end it here today.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for such an inspiring talk and your own creativity, which I think is very much needed. I just want to say one thing to you and to all the young people who think like this. Okay? And that is think big. Don't think incremental change. Think of hitting a 6, not a 4.
Yeah.
Because the time to hit singles and twos, we are playing T20 cricket, not test cricket. We're playing T20. Young people, please play T20. Hit sixes. If you get out, it's okay.
Yeah.
But don't aim for simple strokes. It's not going to work. India needs big changes. Think of big changes. So please think big. And the second point I want to say is that people still say, sometimes they'll tell you, think out of the box. And I will say to you, that's not good enough. You must think of creating a new box where there is no box.
Yeah.
Right? Go to a problem that nobody is working on or an issue that concerns you and nobody is doing anything about it. Now let's see whether you can bring a big change here. Like, you mentioned autism, ADHD, learning disabilities. These are things on which Indian society is not moving forward, as you know personally, right? They don't know what to do. The teaching system is not set up for it. And the families don't understand it. And neighbors and friends, they just don't know what to say. And they don't know how to recognize and bring out the talent. The talent is there, as you said. The guy is brilliant, but he does. So, what should we do with him? Now, this is not going to be solved in 6 months or 1 year or 2 years, and there are more going to be born like him or her. Right? So think big. Think big. You say, look, one day I will come up with a big solution to this, not small. Because if you just say, I'm going to do it in my mohalla, in my city, that's a starting point. But that's not the end point. So think of the big end point. You can start small, but the end point must be big. And look, if I'm going to succeed here, then I'm going to be able to jump 100 steps. I'm going to do a high jump,
Yeah.
not a small walk. I will do high jumps, whoosh, go there. That's my suggestion to you. Think big and don't and think where there is no box. Don't think out of the box. That's just incremental change. Okay, there is one thing happening, you make some small tweaks and you say, no, I'm doing this differently. We don't have time for that. You have to say, listen, nobody's doing anything about it, but I will. Right? And who are you? I'm someone with a brain and an attitude. That's who I am. Right? It doesn't matter who I am. I have a view, I have an incentive, I have support, I have this, that. I'm going to do it. Okay. Don't stop me. I'll get it done. Think big. So, this is my suggestion to you and anybody who's watching and who's creative like you, thinking of some new issue and new theorem, whatever. I'm not saying you are right or wrong. I'm saying it's your thing. Do it big. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good. Let's end it here today. I'll be back with another young person or an expert soon. Till then, bye everybody. Bye.